I'm Emily.
And I'm Jamie.
On this show, we talk about what actually happens on job sites, pricing mistakes, nightmare soil, bad hires, tough customers, and the systems that separate struggling fence companies from the profitable ones.
Exactly. No fluff, no theory, just real fences, real lessons, and real business. This is fence life. No offense, we're built different.
Let's start right there. The biggest pricing lie. What exactly is it?
Well, the belief that charging more automatically means losing work. That if you raise your prices, the phone stops ringing.
And that belief is everywhere in this industry.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is. A lot of people are afraid to put a big price on certain jobs because fear spreads faster than facts, right? So fence guys hear one bad story, and so on, and they raise prices, lost a job, and then they lock themselves into like a cheap pricing forever. So they're pricing out jobs, not making money, and it's just going in the wrong direction.
Sometimes it can feel like a race to the bottom.
Yeah, it totally is a race to the bottom.
So why is underpricing so common in fencing specifically?
That's because most people look at fencing like it's simple, right? So post, panels, gates, dig a hole, stick a post in, not hard at all. So contractors assume like homeowners are price shopping only because again, I still feel that fencers in this industry we're still not respected as we should be like other contractors. Like if you compare like, a plumber or an electrician, those trades seem to have a little more respect, and when they name their price, they get their price, whereas we always seem to have to nickel and dime certain projects just to get them, right?
So the consumer base for fencing has actually pivoted, and it's the contractors that are a little bit slow to catch up?
Yeah, exactly.
So when contractors underprice, what's really happening?
Well, what's happening is that they're trying to buy trust with discounts. So instead of earning it with professionalism, right? So most of the time, they're just trying to get a job by lowering their prices, just basically undercutting themselves.
So what is the consequence of that mentality? What happens when a fence company is underpricing its jobs?
Basically everything falls apart, right? So everything breaks, the margins disappear, crews are rushing to get the work done, because the boss or the foreman is saying, looking at the clock, we got 4 or 5 hours to get this done, we gotta roll, boys, we gotta move. So that increases the chances of mistakes, which means warranty calls pile up because you rush to work, so mistakes are happening, so now you've got a bunch of warranty things to deal with, and then the owner gets stuck working harder for less money. It doesn't make any sense.
So cheap pricing doesn't just hurt the profit, it'll hurt the quality too?
It definitely hurts the quality, and the worst part is that those contractors blame the market instead of the math, and that's not the case.
Okay, so let's flip this from a homeowner's perspective for a minute. When someone sees 3 fence quotes and one is way cheaper, what does that actually signal?
Normally it signals risk.
So not wow, that's a great deal, we should go with that.
No, not really. Like, cheap doesn't feel safe when it comes to permanent structures. So if it feels rushed, inexperienced, or desperate.
So when contractors are having a race to the bottom, they're not winning trust, they're creating extra doubt.
Yeah, and the companies that are charging more with confidence are often the ones that are closing the deals. So somebody out there is doing something right.
This sounds like a great time for a fence life reality check.
It is. Here it is. If your pricing feels uncomfortable, you're probably closer to the truth than you think.
And if it feels safe?
Then you're probably undercharging.
Okay, let's make this practical. How should fence contractors actually think about their pricing?
Well, it starts with like with a reality check and not competition, right? So your pricing needs to cover the basic things. So it needs to cover your labor. You got to cover your materials. You got to cover your equipment. You have to account for mistakes. You have to cover your warranty. You have to cover admin time. Oh, and then most importantly, you still got to make money on top of all this. So that's your profit. So all those things have to be factored into every project that you're pricing, whether it's a big job or whether it's a small job. If you don't have that in all the jobs that you're pricing, you're not making money.
So profit is a non-negotiable.
Exactly. Profit isn't greed. Profit is what allows you to stand behind your work in the long term.
So let's run through some of the excuses that well-intending contractors might use in flawed pricing strategies.
Okay. Well, all right.
So, like, I can't charge more in my area.
Well, yes, you can if you communicate value.
I want to beat the competition. They keep cheating me on price.
You know what? Let them be. You're not building their business. They are.
Oh, I feel bad. It's such a tough economy. I'll raise prices later.
Later usually never comes.
So, what's one action that listeners can take from this week?
Well, if there's anything that our listeners here can take from this week, would be raise one thing, one line item, one upgrade, one service, and say it confidently without apologizing.
Okay, so confidence changes perception?
Every time.
Okay, so if this hit a nerve, it's probably a good thing.
Because pricing isn't just numbers, it's a mindset, right?
If you want more conversations like this, please feel free to join the Fence Life community on Facebook.
Yeah, and next week we're talking about something every fence contractor has battled, and that's rock, frost, and job site reality.
Thanks everyone for joining us. We'll see you then.
And that is episode 2 of Fence Life.